What is going on, y'all? It's your boy Nicholas, and I go by Nick's Dynasty on social. Welcome back to Nick's Dynasty on YouTube, and welcome back to the third episode of the Slow Progress Podcast. So, on today's episode, we're going to talk about growing a small business, what we're doing to grow my small part-time food truck, the avenues I'm focusing on, how the growth has gone. And we're not really going to talk about sales, but we're talking about growing the audience of people having eyes on our business. You can have a really great product, but if people don't know about you, then you can't really sell anything. So how are we getting the word out about our part-time food truck? So that's what today's episode is about. On YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. This helps push this new podcast out to new people. I hope you all enjoy it. So let's get started with the third episode of the Slow Progress Podcast. If you have dreams, if you have aspiration, know that you can achieve your goals. Things don't happen all the way overnight, but there is a slow progress to get you to where you want to be. And this is what this podcast is all about, talking about the slow progress of life, whether it's business, investing, life in general. But we're going to focus on the business for this aspect. We started at 0 people knowing about us in 2020, and now we have a decent presence in Columbus right now. A little bit of people are talking about us. We're not where we want to be, but we are making slow progress to that journey. So I tend to focus on one avenue as far as growing the business, and our main focus is going to be Instagram. We do have Facebook, we have Google Ads, we have TikTok, we have a YouTube channel, but my strategy on growing our small business is to focus heavily on one avenue and try to do that the best, and our avenue is going to be Instagram. Right now, we do have a decent amount of followers. It's going to pop up right here. I believe it's around 2,200, and we started from 0. We are a part-time food truck, so maybe if this was a full-time thing, maybe we'll have way more than we do now, but I actually am very happy with having the follower count that we have right now. For our first post on social media, Facebook, Instagram, I believe it was my personal Facebook. It might have been Instagram too, but this picture right here is me holding a couple of eggs and having a pan behind it saying I'm up to something. On my personal Facebook, they're like, oh, what's happening? What's going on? And if you look at the bottom of our Instagram, you can see this is going to be our first couple of posts. It's going to be a couple of pictures of some sandwiches, introducing the logo and the name of our company. So let's look at the timeline of our growth. It's going to be October 2020. We're going to have 2 followers. We have 0 posts then. And then it's going to jump all the way to February 2023. This is when we're going to be opening our food truck rather than being a commissary kitchen in the past. In the beginning, we started as a commissary kitchen, ghost kitchen, from, let's say, December 2020 to August 2021. But we're going to jump to February 2023. We're going to have 712 followers. We have 68 posts at this time, and we also have been tagged 11 times. Then we're just going to go 1 month in advance. We're going to be March 2023. We're going to have 765 followers with 70 posts, and then we're going to have 12 tags. So there's going to be a decent amount of growth between 1 month. And then we're just going to move it on to June 6, 2023. We're going to have 1,000 followers finally. We reached that 1K mark. And then we're going to go 4 days later to June 10th. It's going to be 1,028 followers. And then to June 12th, we're going to have 1,067 followers. At this point, we have 78 posts and 12 tags. On June 10th, we had a large Instagram influencer that did post. So if we look at June 17th, it jumps all the way up to 1,290 followers with 78 posts. So we have a big jump between the month of June within a few days, actually. So one of the influencers right now has 38,000 followers. At the time, it might have been 30,000 followers. I'm not sure. I didn't do a good job of um, keeping track of that information. But we had two influencers come around basically the same time, and we jumped up tremendously. And we look at the next month, which is July, 2023. Now we're at 1,469 followers. We have 80 posts, and we've been tagged now 15 times. So once that first two big influencers came, more people came, and other people tagged us as well, and we started to jump up. Now we're looking at June 2024, which is around the current time, which is 2,183 followers with 109 posts. So during the food truck era, that's when our followers kind of exploded. That's when we had more bigger influencers come, and we got lucky and we semi exploded with some more followers. I'm also helping another food truck do some social media. It's not as good as mine because I'm not on his truck taking pictures, but I'm kind of using the posts we already have, and sometimes sporadically I'll go there, capture some more pictures of the food, but it's a little hard to do so. But with him, we've had about four or so pretty big influencers come, and I believe we've only gotten around 5 followers, 8, 10 followers from that. Whereas me, I've gotten a few hundred, maybe 500 followers from the influencer. One of the big influencers, they came to him last year, and their post got more views than mine, but unfortunately he didn't get as many followers as mine. I believe in her post they didn't really tag him up top like they did for me, so it was hard to like find his page. When they did originally fix that, maybe they got a few more followers, but all the views had kind of like already happened. For me, maybe I'm more active on Instagram, so they see my page and see that I'm posting more, and then they follow us more potentially. And also, they tagged us right at the top saying clutch handheld breakfast, blah, 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 blah. So maybe that's the reason why we've seen a difference between our follower count from influencers. Just because you bring an influencer to your establishment doesn't mean you're going to get more followers. They have to do a couple of things. Make sure you're tagged at the top. You have to be shown as a person who's always posting on Instagram, and that might equate to you having more followers from these posts. Also, if your pictures are quality, you might bring in some more followers from those posts. Right now in September 2024, we are around 2,225 followers. We have 115 posts, and we've been tagged 36 times. This post count is not accurate because we do have some archived posts. A lot of them are mostly our schedule. Since we're a part-time food truck and then I do take some time to vacation, we do post some closures. So a lot of the times I will post these closures in advance and I will just archive these posts. Some of these posts, I don't like how they look now, so we put them in the archive. But we do have a decent amount of archive posts, so we probably have posted close to 200 things. But in the grand scheme of things, since 2020, that's not too many posts. I am a little bit picky on what we post. I want to make sure the lighting's good. I want to make sure it's adding more value to the page, not repeating the same thing over and over again. So recent months, I haven't been posting that much. Maybe during the summer, I've posted maybe 6 times, maybe even less. I believe going forward now, I want to try to post more, doing more simple reels, doing more pictures, doing more in general. So I believe we can, double this follower count. I'm not sure in what time frame, but if I start posting more, we could definitely get more followers and interactions. For 2024, I have posted 17 times. So that's not that many. I think the posts are kind of quality. Some of them are actually really not. They're just tech stuff that I thought would be interesting. So as far as food pictures, we don't have, some of it's diluted because a lot of it's text. So you want to make sure that you're posting things that bring value. I believe the schedule brings value. This is kind of a quirky thing that I like, but more pictures of the food, more things that attract people is what you should focus on. Our 30-day stats for Instagram is going to be 10,900 views of our posts, whether it be stories or post. We have 100 interactions, so that's clicking things. And then we're going to have 38 followers for the last 30 days. We also do ads on Instagram. I think some of them go towards Facebook as well. We can look at some of the stats. I've run a few campaigns. A lot of them are small ones for like a day. Let's say we were only spending $3, $4. But let's talk about what those ad spends might do. For one of the ads, we spent $2. We got 3 profile views, so that's going to be 67 cents per view. Looking at another one, we spent $3 and we got 10 views on that. That's going to be 30 cents per view. One of them we spent $41.25 for 120 profile views, or 34 cents per profile view. And then this last one we'll talk about, it's $106.29, and we got 423 profile views, or 25 cents per view. I can't go all the way back and tell you what the followers per ad might be. I'll try to do that, but profile views, we can do a conservative and say maybe 20% of those viewers came by, or we can say 10% of those viewers came by. It's really hard to quantify. Even our follower count, the more followers we have, meaning more people know about us, the more shares we might have, but all of those followers are not people who have visited. For that ad that we spent $106 for, the 423 profile views, we actually got 54 website taps, and we also got 18 address taps. So maybe some of those address people came by, maybe some of those website people came by. You never know. I don't really have any analytics stuff on my website to know actually how many people are coming or how many people checked out from these taps or whatever, but I do believe that some of these ads are doing something I don't actually know. All right, I totally forgot why I wanted to do this episode. I actually have data on how people hear about us, so this is really fascinating. We do a survey card in every order, and one of the questions is going to be, how did you hear about us? So this is going to be the data. We've had 242 people respond from it, and as I was saying in this video, that we mostly focus on Instagram. Instagram is definitely a top reason why people find out about us, but it's actually not number one. What's number one is something that's very simple, and it actually really exploded when we turned into a food truck, and that's one of the reasons why we wanted to become a food truck. When we were in the commissary kitchen, we were inside a building and we didn't have that much signage outside. In the beginning of the survey, we did see some people seeing our small sign that we put out. But our number one source of people coming to our restaurant, as far as the respondents from this survey, is people actually seeing the food truck and seeing the sign actually. And this really exploded once it became a food truck. Even in the beginning, the food truck had a very small sign outside, as what we had in the beginning of the commissary kitchen, but this is closer to the road. There was a stop light right by it, so people were able to focus on it and see it in their brain more instead of like passing by it really quickly. But seeing it brought 91 people into it, or 37% of this 242 people. And then we have Instagram, which is down to 19%. So 48 people admitted to coming from Instagram. Some people on the survey said social media. I might have counted some of them for Instagram, some of them for Facebook, but Instagram is down to 19%. I thought it for a while it was always number one, but now I'm realizing that I haven't looked at the data in a while. Number three, which is actually the very same as Instagram, 19%, is Google. We have done some Google ads in the past, and we have a 5-star rating on Google Maps, so that brings in a lot of traffic when people are searching for a top-rated breakfast near me. So that really helps, and we don't really have to pay that much for it because I don't really run any Google ads anymore. It's just maintaining a good brand and the ratings just showing that we're a place that you might want to visit. And then we go down to 3%. I pay for like a magazine ad, or we had some articles in the past. And I wrote down, okay, that's supposed to be 8. 8 people saw us, or 3%. And then I forget, word of mouth is number 11%, or 11%. 28 people saw us from word of mouth. 3 people from Facebook, or 1%. And this all adds up to 90% of the respondents. So the other 10% is like people from DoorDash, Grubhub, or my family. That's why that didn't count. So very fascinating to see, like, something very simple being very visible, and people stopping by. Visibility probably would be far and away number one, maybe if we were a full-time business, but we are part-time. A lot of times people pass by us and we're closed, and I have heard someone, I finally got you when you're open, and I would say, oh yeah, we're always open during these days. Potentially they're not passing by us during these times. So very fascinating looking at this data. So I'm very happy I found this and add this to this video. But we mostly focus on Instagram. I think our posts are getting better and better. I need to do more posts for sure. Reels seem to get more likes, more views for sure. It has slowed down a bit. When Reels first came out, they were definitely pushing it heavy to on the algorithms for people to see. There's a few more big Instagram influencers I want to reach out to, and it's definitely a good way to do it. And it's not it seems like it's not even the number one thing, and that costs money for us as far as food costs, but it's definitely good visibility. Instagram's a platform where you can make a portfolio of your business, what you do, and people can see and come back time and time. People can share with their friends and family and actually collect data for businesses and pages in general to see what kind of interactions they're getting. So this is how I've been growing my part-time business. It is definitely slow growth. If I was full-time, we would probably have more Instagram followers, more people coming from seeing us. But right now we are choosing to do it part-time because I'm keeping my main job. This is the slow progress. You can see how incrementally things have been coming up as far as the follower count. 2 followers in October 2020, and now 2,200 followers in September 2024, and only posting 115 times for this part-time business. Please like this podcast. Please like this video, share it with your friends. Please comment below what you think. This is the Slow Progress Podcast. I hope you are enjoying it. Next episode, number 4, I'm not too sure what it's going to be, but it's going to be an episode number 4 coming up. Talk to y'all soon, folks.